Alright, what if your worst nightmare wasn't just a dream, but a terrifying glimpse of what could actually happen? In Outlander Season 7 Part 1, the stakes have never been higher. When we last left off, Claire was wrongly imprisoned for the murder of Malva Christie, and Jamie, desperate to save her, was galloping toward danger, aided by Ian and the Cherokee warriors. And now, Season 7 wastes no time, throwing us headfirst into chaos. We open on a chilling image, Claire Fraser on the gallows, the noose tightening around her neck. But just as you gasp in horror, Jamie awakens, drenched in sweat. It's a nightmare, or is it a warning of what's to come? Meanwhile, Claire is trapped in a grim prison cell, where she forms an uneasy friendship with the sharp-witted Sadie Ferguson. With no trials in sight, thanks to the justices going into hiding, every day could be her last. Far from the chaos, Roger embarks on his journey to become a minister, seeking purpose in an uncertain world. But fate has other plans. When he drops the famous phrase, "float like a butterfly, sting like a bee," he's stunned when a stranger recognizes the quote from Muhammad Ali. Wait, how could someone in the 1700s know a 20th century icon's words? Season 7 Part 1 is packed with twists, heartbreak, and time-bending mysteries. So buckle up, sassy Knox, because this is just the beginning. Turns out Wendigo Donner is among the men. Roger recognizes him from Claire's attack, but Donner asks for help, saying he just wants to get home. In need of a healer, Claire is taken to a ship to see Governor Martin's pregnant wife, and she manages to gain her trust. Claire asks the governor for more medical supplies. He agrees to send the list, but won't allow her to leave the ship. Major MacDonald shows up and recognizes Claire. Bree discovers that Roger has a pack for Donner, intending to help him escape. Bree reminds him that Donner didn't help Claire. Roger shows compassion, revealing the time he was forced to stand by and do nothing while working for Bonnet. But Bree walks away in frustration. In Wilmington, Lieutenant Tate finds Tom Christie at Claire's request and gives him her supply list. One of the things on the list is Vir Meus, which means my husband. Jamie has arrived at Wilmington, and Christie finds him, explaining where Claire is, and he immediately goes to her. Governor Martin and Major MacDonald use the situation to coerce Jamie to agree to collect an army and fight for the crown. Roger goes to Bree and says the only help he will offer Donner is prayer. Jamie is back in Wilmington, forming a new plan to rescue Claire when he runs into a drunk Tom Christie, who reveals he plans to confess to his daughter's murder. At his request, Jamie tells him what he would have said at Tom's funeral. It's a nice speech about being honorable and having mutual respect for one another. Christie shows up on the boat and tells Claire that he is confessing. He reveals that Malva was not actually his daughter and was a witch like her mother. Claire doesn't believe he killed her, but Tom says Malva tried to poison them both and then confesses to being in love with Claire. He asks her to allow him to give his life for one that is worthy. Claire and Jamie are reunited on the docks, and she is left feeling a lot of guilt over Christie sacrificing his life for hers. That night, Richard Brown returns to his room to find Jamie waiting for him. He found him by recognizing his horse. He says he stared at that ass for 200 miles, he'd know it anywhere. Brown remains smug and they exchange words. Jamie tells him to make peace with the Lord. The screen goes blank here, but I think it's fair to assume that Brown won't be a problem anymore. Episode 2 After a time jump, which you can tell from Claire's hair growth, Claire finds Alan Christie at Malva's grave. Alan confesses to both his inappropriate behavior with his sister Malva and to killing her because she was going to tell Claire the truth and said she didn't love him. He attempts to off himself, but Claire stops him. A quick arrow to the back shows that Ian decided to resolve the matter. Mrs. Bug finds them burying Alan's body but says he must have deserved it and helps them. Bree gives birth to a baby girl named Amanda. All seems well, but Claire notices symptoms of a severe heart defect she cannot fix, but modern medicine can. Mandy's only chance of survival is for Bree and Roger to take her through the stones. Unsure if she can travel, they try to test Mandy with a gem, and Jemmy assures them she can hear the buzzing. One of the early signs of extra ability is Jemmy and or Mandy may have. They pack up and head to Wilmington, preparing to leave for the future. In Wilmington, Bree runs into John Gray and William, her first and possibly only chance to meet her half-brother who is fighting for the crown. She encourages Gray to tell William the truth, but Jamie and John agree that is a bad idea, and John gives him the gemstone he's kept all this time. Bree and Jamie have a lovely scene together. Honestly, the setting is breathtaking, with all the fireflies. They talk about their relationship and Disneyland. Bree tries to describe Mickey Mouse, and Jamie laughs about a giant rat they let children play with. Later, Jamie reveals to Claire that he has dreams of the future. At the stones, there is a long, tearful goodbye before Brianna, Roger, Jeremiah, and Amanda touch the stones and vanish. On the other side, they realize it's worked when a plane flies overhead. Claire and Jamie struggle to continue on, trying to count their blessings while Lizzie has a little boy. One day, Wendigo Donner shows up and demands help from Claire. She tries to tell him what he wants to know, but he also needs gemstones, so he brought a bandit crew with him. They trash the place looking for gemstones, and Mrs. Bug are brought in after thieves found gold. Mrs. Bug was hiding. You can see Jamie is surprised by this. The idiots smash all of Claire's medicines, including the ether. Then, needing more light, Donner strikes one of Brianna's matches, and we see the resulting explosion as fire engulfs the house. Episode 3. And now we are back to the future, where a box is delivered to Fiona, who then gives it to Bree and Roger. Some time has passed and they say Mandy is doing well. They open the box to find letters from Claire and Jamie and a single musket ball. The letters explain that Claire, Jamie, and the Bugs were able to get out just before the explosion. Realizing Bree's matches caused the fire, Roger has a great line saying the 18th century was lucky to have survived them. Back in the past, they attempt to put out the fire, but it's a lost cause. The next day, they search through the rubble. Jamie finds the chest with his kilt inside undamaged. Thank heavens for that. Ian finds Jamie's prized picture of William and admits he's figured out Jamie's secret about him. Lizzie and Joe break the news that they can't find the cat, Adsa. When Mr. Bug begins searching through the rubble, Jamie confronts him about the gold. He admits it is part of the lost Jacobite gold of Charles Stewart, explaining he found and stole it from River Run. Jocasta's late husband Hector being one of the 3 men who split the treasure after the war. Jamie tells him to leave and never return. When told, Mrs. Bug hints to them deserving the gold after all the work they've done and the secrets they've kept. That night, Jamie and Ian stake out the rubble, waiting to see if Mr. Bug comes back. When they see a figure, Jamie confronts him. The figure shoots at him, so Ian takes him down. They are both shocked to find it was, in fact, Mrs. Bug, not her husband. Ian is distraught, having been so close with Mrs. Bug for so long. After the funeral, he offers to let Mr. Bug kill him, a life for a life, but Mr. Bug says it's not equivalent, claiming he'd see him again when Ian had something worth taking. Jamie melts down some of the gold into musket balls, look familiar, and hides the rest in a cave that he and Jemmy found. He then writes a letter to Bree, giving clues to its location. Back in the future, Bree and Roger are quickly able to decipher the clues, but decide not to ask Jemmy about it just yet. Bree takes Roger to see the ruins of Lallybroch, and they discover it's actually for sale. Jamie shows Claire where he wants to build their new house, but reveals he'd like to go back to Scotland first, both to take Ian home and avoid fighting a war against his own son. He also describes a dream he had of the future with Jemmy on a phone, but also includes Fiona, whom he should know nothing about. Interesting. As they head out, Claire hears little Adso in the woods, happy to see he's alive and well, near the very first stake that Jamie ever planted at Frasers Ridge. As Outlander Season 7 Part 1 leaves viewers breathless, the stage is set for a whirlwind of emotional upheaval, dangerous alliances, and unexpected betrayals. Claire's brush with death, symbolized by the chilling vision of her hanging, foreshadows even darker challenges ahead. Though she is temporarily safe, the forces arrayed against the Frasers are growing stronger, and their fight for survival is far from over. One prediction that feels inevitable is that Claire's imprisonment will leave lasting scars, not just physically, but emotionally. Her friendship with Sadie Ferguson may serve as more than just companionship in a dark time. Sadie could become a surprising ally or even a wild card whose actions ripple through Claire's fate in unforeseen ways. Trust will be a fragile, dangerous commodity. Meanwhile, Jamie's desperation to protect Claire will push him to make alliances and choices he might once have avoided. His rescue by Ian and the Cherokee hints at a larger coalition that will come into play. Jamie will likely have to lean into these relationships, perhaps even more deeply involving himself with Native American allies and revolutionary forces, as colonial America inches closer to outright rebellion. Roger's storyline, too, holds hidden dangers. His journey to become a minister might be interrupted by that strange encounter with someone who knows the words of Muhammad Ali. This moment strongly hints at another time traveler lurking nearby, someone whose motives are still unclear. Could this stranger be friend or foe? If Roger is pulled deeper into a conspiracy involving multiple travelers, it could endanger not just him, but Brianna and their children. As tensions mount, we can predict that the Frasers will be pulled directly into the heart of the American Revolution. Loyalties will be tested, and sacrifices will have to be made. Old enemies may re-emerge, and unexpected betrayals could come from those they once trusted. The cost of survival will be steep, and not everyone may make it out alive. Ultimately, Outlander Season 7 seems poised to be a story of endurance and evolution. Love, time, and loyalty will be stretched to their breaking points. The Frasers' dream of building a life in the new world will be threatened like never before, and every decision they make could alter not only their fate, but the fate of history itself. The storm is coming, and the Frasers must either weather it, or be destroyed by it.